Welcome to the Real CP Show. I'm your host, CP. In today's topic, two Black American girls racially terrorized at this Asian gift shop in Chicago, Illinois. Shh. Where are these people of color crowd at, these minority crowd at, that like to play these little silly, sinister games toward numbers of American blacks, the one that don't know how silly it sounds to allow people to put American blacks by the millions in some nonsensical people of color, minority, nonsensical word switchery, since it dilutes down anything basically dealing with American Black history in America, right? Because then you just put other people, right, in the box of minority and people of color nonsense, right? So where are these people of color personnel? Where are these minority personnel? Where is this black and brown coalition at? Where is the black and yellow coalition at? Where is the BPOC, black, indigenous, and people of color crowd at, right? Where is this crowd out to have an outrage about these two 10 and 9 or 8-year-old little Black American girls that were racially anti-American black terrorized in this Asian gift shop in Chicago, Illinois? I tell you exactly what they were sitting there doing. I tell you exactly what the numbers of people are doing like that. This is what they're doing. Give me a second. This is what they're doing. Give me 1 second. Yeah, they ain't trying to hear all that. See, they want numbers of American blacks by the millions, and unfortunately, it's succeeding with very few exceptions to allow people to sit there and play silly little games like this, right? The silly games. In this situation right here, these two little American black girls, innocent, and they still got to be shown anti-American black hatred, but the system and numbers of other people are here, personnel within various parts of Padang-based culture and some other people who have the face of black, who know they are, and some other immigrating this type personnel, some border breaker, illegal immigrant personnel, have the nerveness to try to tell American blacks, oh my goodness, this is post-racial Americanism, right? What? Wait a minute. That donkey, you know what stuff, succeeds upon numbers of American blacks mentality who don't sit there and take offense to people playing these little silly tactics, right? But if this was vice versa, and if this was an American black uh, store, and two little Asian Americans came into that store and they racially terrorized, oh my goodness, what are we going to do about this anti-Asian hate? You see how this goes? And see, I don't like even utilize the genericality of saying Asian because that's a gigantic, broad category. You like which Asians, right? Because there are dozens of Asian countries on a Pakistan, right? Iran, but they continue to keep trying to make sure to show a certain look or what they consider Asian. Even that, you say which Asians? Because they're Afro-Asiatic people, huh? Oh, they don't want to talk about that. Just like you have numbers of Asians that have have hatred toward other Asians. Oh, they don't want to talk about that as well, right? But let's go ahead and play this particular first video. Let me go ahead and share this screen. Give me one moment. Give me one moment here. All right, make sure that's set up correct. Give me 1 second here. Make sure that's correct. All right. All right, then. Hurry. Make sure that's right. 1 second here. Make sure. Okay, that's all right. All right. Let me go ahead and play this.
Racially profiled at the ages of 9 and 10. That's what two Chicago mothers say happened to their daughters while shopping in Chinatown.
Our Suzanne Lemagneau has been listening to their story and the lessons learned from the scary moments these two young girls say they endured.
For 10-year-old Malin Hall and 9-year-old Addison Willay, a trip to Chinatown is a monthly, fun-filled experience.
My dad, my mom, my grandma, everybody has bought something from that store. My dad even bought a hat and a bowl from there.
But a recent visit to that store, AJ Housewares and Gifts on January 2nd, left the girls feeling anything but joy.
They started following us around the store.
Then an employee accused Malin of shoplifting a keychain.
I had picked up one that I really liked, but then I put it back because I didn't really want it anymore. And I had just put it on a random shelf because I didn't know where to put it. She was like, empty your pockets out, empty your pockets out. And then I showed her multiple times because I had wore one of my mini bags that day. So I showed her inside my purse, I showed her inside my pockets.
Willay was also asked by the store employee to empty her pockets.
She put
like they were some type of criminals. Huh? Like some type of criminals, right? See how this discussing tactic goes? I'm also utilizing this under fair usage doctrine. Let's continue.
Put her hand on Madeleine's back, and then it looked like she was guiding
To empty her pockets.
She put her hand on Madeleine's back, and then it looked like she was guiding out the store on the cameras, but she actually was pushing her.
Trying to push.
Pushing this little black girl. Now I relay over American black because when those particular Asians in that store, sinisteristic Asians, the ones that was showing this anti-American black hatred, they didn't sit there and see them as, oh, what particular part of this black group are you from? Because you saw in that last name, that's not a typical American black name. I just relate over American black in a general sense in this situation, right? Because that's a whole different tactic in itself. Because sometimes you can't tell, right? Then sometimes you look at, there's the name. Sometimes you can say, oh, okay. Or a lot of times you can say, okay, that's not a typical, that's an American black in general, or certain type of phenotypes. And other times you can't. So I'm just utilizing or saying American black in this instance in general. All right.
Push her out.
Yeah, but she did. She had pushed me, and then she closed the door, put her inside my purse. I showed her inside my pockets.
Willay was also asked by the store employee to empty her pockets.
She put her hand on Madeleine's back, and then it looked like she was guiding out the store on the cameras, but she actually was pushing her.
Trying to push her out?
Yeah, but she did. She had pushed me, and then she closed the door and locked it. But also when we were getting, they made us empty out our pockets and stuff.
How did that make you feel?
It made us feel really sad, and just we weren't we didn't matter in that moment.
So you making two little black girls feel like that, right? Be it they're American black girls or their parents American black, or they're not in this situation. I'm just relaying because unfortunately there are quite a number of ones that have the face of black that they're not American black, but they'll try to hide under the American black banner. And it's like when stuff like, anti-black hatred shows up, oh, then it's like, oh, they're black. But then when things are okay, then it's like, oh, well, I'm not black. I'm someone else. That's how it goes, right? And unfortunately, numbers of American blacks, by the means, still don't understand that tactic either. But in this situation, it is still terrible, right? But they tell American blacks, right, to get over the past, right? This is a post-racial America, right? What was going on, your forefathers and foremothers, right, centuries ago, it's still not going on right now, even though it continues to keep going on in the 21st century, right? See, nobody else is going to allow somebody to tell them to get over the past when things will still keep going on in this present. These games.
moment type of stuff because we are human too, and I feel like they didn't think, they just thought of our skin colors. It wasn't anybody in there that was the same color as me.
And that's why you feel you were singled out.
Wale's mother, Ashley Fuller, was right outside the store when the girls left, sobbing uncontrollably.
I thought someone hit them, or I just didn't understand what was going on. After I figured out what happened, I contacted the police.
A report was filed for simple battery. No arrest was made. Soon after, Malin's mother arrived.
The bigger picture is that they was racially profiled. They was discriminated against. You placed your hands on my child. That is the bigger issue.
Now, here's the thing about it. You got these two black women, really they Black American or not. The last names kind of looks like maybe Black Americans, but you know how they go because there are certain ones that have the face of black. They can hide under the Black American banner. But let's just say these are Black American black women, right? You see how this system makes sure they put that kind of situation in the forefront. They make sure not to put the Black father out there too, right? To sit there and talk about that. You see how it goes? Well, that's because black men are deadbeats. Go to, you know what? The majority of black males, the ones who have kids, it has been proven again and again, are the most active males in America as far as caring for their kids. So you can play that game with somebody else. The majority of black males say they pay child support on time. Play that game with somebody else, right? And there's already been, anyway, there's been agendas that's already, they don't take much, but have some research to find out in this system of supremacy within various parts of America, the ones the places applies to, have sit there and drew up plans, stuff like that to fragment American black families and to sit there and give resources to numbers of black women to sit there and push out black males. This stuff has started going on, especially start going to effect more toward the 70s and stuff like that, when, oh my goodness, black feminists start popping up, and then again white feminists start laughing at those black women that didn't know the game. So let's continue.
Both mothers reached out to 11th Ward Alderwoman Nicole Lee.
My heart just sank that it happened to them at all. And you know, my immediate reaction was, what can we do to address this?
Lee says,
how about anti-American black legislature for American blacks? How about that? Of course not.
She wants to work with other community leaders to create a training program for business owners to stop racial profiling.
There's no place for that in the 11th Ward or anywhere in the city of Chicago. And
but you hear what she said? To create a training program. To create a training program for these grown ass numbers of agents in this area to sit there and stop racially terrorizing American blacks. Do you see the most dumb crap how that sounds? Right? But what was that? What, 2020, 21? Oh, when they wrapped up right before Biden's about to get in office, and right after Biden got in office, the powers, right, made sure to try to betray numbers of what do you call it? Numbers of agents. Oh my goodness. They're being sit there and pummeled and punched and assaulted by the Negroes. You see how that goes, right? You see how this disgusting game goes, and it's tiresome to know that there is still quite a number of American blacks that still allow people to play these little disgusting tactics. Oh my goodness, we need to come up with a training program to tell these grown ass agents in this particular situation to start racially profiling American blacks. So she is admitting apparently there is a problem, right? She's admitting this. Huh?
we want to make sure that people are educated about that.
Lee says, as for AJ housewares and gifts,
I think they acknowledge the mistake that they made at the end of the day, and I think they feel badly that this was the experience that they had, and they're keen on participating in the training.
the store echoed that sentiment in this statement. We deeply regret the harm caused by this incident. We take full responsibility. We will do better.
Alderwoman Lee wanted to right a wrong and show the girls they did matter and that Chinatown cares about them.
I cannot wait.
Lee had the girls at the helm of the 11th Ward float at the Lunar New Year parade in Chinatown.
That was amazing.
It was really fun.
Both Hall and Willay say this is a teachable moment for business owners, and something good can come out of what they've endured.
Nice to know that somebody is going to make a program for business owners to not profile people.
Boy, you see this nonsense. You see this nonsense, right? They have programmed these little precious little black girls to be very naive to, because they were not taught about. There unfortunately are some people in society who have a hatefulness toward American blacks, right? Because unfortunately, there are certain numbers of black women that continue to keep trying to tell their little boys or girls, and don't worry about racism and y'all whatever it is, and black males are always talking about racism. You're like, which black male you talking about? Because the majority of black males don't talk about racism, right? There are numbers of coon numbers of black males out there. Do you understand that? There are numbers of black males that are deflectionists, right? Until it happens to them, then they want to complain about racial racism toward them. So like, what are you talking about? Right? What are you talking about? Right? And so you heard with that particular Asian woman, that person in that district, well, training programs, and we want to make sure that they feel like, they do matter. That ain't gonna make up that apparently it was going on many times before this, right? But at the same time, oh my goodness, we got to come up with a training program for numbers of Asian businesses. But 2020, 2021, oh my goodness, we need to have a conversation toward those Negroes about their anti Asian American hatred, right? What are you talking about? It's numbers of Asians that continue to keep showing anti-American black hatred. What are you talking about? Give me a second. It's like this, right? So give me a second here. Give me one moment. And I want to, anyway, I'm going to all that. So the thing about it is the hatred that continues toward the American blacks continues over and over and over and over and over again. Like the waiting room for colored only by order of police department. They didn't say waiting room for Chinese only, or Japanese, or Koreans, or South Koreans, or et cetera, et cetera. I'm just using that as an example, right? Right. But again, where is this camaraderie among various types of Asian communities, right? And I'm not playing that. Well, you know what? I mean, it might be some Asians that do stuff like this, but it's not all. Yeah, not going to sit there and play that little donkey shit of a little sidetrack tactic. There are numbers of Asians who know that do definitely have a major hatred of American blacks, and it is continuously minimized that there are certain numbers of Asians that do have that, right? So it's like they keep trying to sit there and pretend it's not happening. And the only thing that does is continue to keep making things continue to happen even more. But at the same time, who is the most hated group in America by statistics and beyond logic? Must be Asians. Go to what? No, it's not. Well, it might be because of it has to be some kind of Jewish people, right? Because there's all kind of anti-Semitic things going toward them. Go to heck with that. No, it's not. Right. Well, it's got to be toward numbers of Hispanics because this is their country. Man, super double go to what, right? We're not gonna play that tactic at all because there's hatred amongst hatred toward numbers of Afro Hispanics. by numbers of white Hispanicism. So we're not going to play that tactic, right? So, I guess it's toward numbers of Native Americans. Super Tripoli go to HELL with that game, right? How many numbers of Native Americans we call get reparations? And how many keep saying the white man took our land, the white man took our land, but they're never told to get over the past? And how many will we call Native Americans, right? What they call $5 Indians or 250 Indians, wherever it is, that had certain ones within the Panama-based culture paid a few dollars to get on certain roles and stuff like that and call themselves Native Americans, right? So we're not going to play that game. And after the Civil War ended in 1865, I guess formally, right, there are still numbers of what we call Native Americans, the ones that were doing this, that were still keeping certain numbers of black natives inside in enslavement. So we're not going to play that little tactic, right? You see how that goes, right? But see, this is the kind of stuff that various parts of society don't want American blacks to sit there and know, right? So lastly, I also relayed over in the comment section, there was again a show that a podcast, infocast that I did about, again, this particular Asian murderous woman. She took the life of an American black teenager that was minding her business and stuff like that. But let me go ahead and show you just a piece of that clip, and I'll go ahead and finish up the show, right? Give me 1 second here. There we go. There we go. Make sure that's right. Okay. Let me maximize that. All right, here we go. In this situation, the deadly, murderous Asian woman murdered a 17-year-old innocent American black teen. And the coverage was very lackluster. Let's go ahead and play the first video on that. Let's go ahead and play the first video of this. Give me one moment.
Learning new information about the woman accused of stabbing a 17-year-old girl to death in the middle of the day at the Galleria. Fox 26's Abigail Dye dug into Kaysone Sky Blossom's background and criminal history, for that matter, which did not start with this murder.
This murder happened while Blossom was out on a PR bond for another stabbing. That's right. She's accused of stabbing her then boyfriend back in 2021, and she got out of jail without paying a dime. Accused of murder while out on bond. Kaysone Sky Blossom behind bars, accused of stabbing 17-year-old Kayla Stevenson to death during an attempted robbery Saturday. Police arrested Blossom Wednesday. Kayla's mom told us then how heartbroken but relieved she was.
I just pray that you honestly feel the great.
Keep pretending, right? You didn't see what you saw of this deadly, murderous, violent Asian woman. This one that took the life of a 17-year-old American black girl, right? Just took her life. And then she was violent toward her boyfriend and she stabbed him, right? But again, numbers of American blacks, about 1 million, that keep allowing people to sit there and allow this nonsensical model minority mythologicalness or Roman mythology, allow people to play this little model minority, certain numbers of Asian model minority. You'll have more nonsense. There will be more beliefs in Roman mythology, right? And Greek mythology. You'll have more minority myth that continue to permeate various sections of Americanism, right? And especially from numbers of American blacks, the one applies to, and think this because someone's Asian, well, because there's dozens of countries on the Asian continent, right? You said it goes, including thousands of islands. God, this game is so infantile, right? But again, people look at American blacks as infantile, right? Collectively, yes. This is why American blacks collectively, modern day, that thing, see the American blacks, anyway. So I'm sitting there saying collectively, they know who to sit there and play that game, which type of American blacks to play a little disgusting game with, right? They know. So that's how I want to sit there and show that on this topic. And the link of that particular last clip is also inside of the description. I'm inside of the description bar. But remember, what are we going to do for? Watch this. Now, the most hated group is the American blacks. Boss of ticks. Not whites, not Asians, not Native Americans, not Jewish people. You get the point. But numbers of Asians got a generalized anti-Asian hate crime bill. What? Under the last administration. American blacks, again, are the number one hated group in America, right? And still, which has been going for centuries, but still can't sit there, but still have not gotten an anti-American hatred law. You see the most nonsensical part, how for a second, but let's make sure we're gonna keep focusing on this part. Give me one moment. Where did it go? Give me one moment here. Watch this. Stop Asian hate. Stop Asian hate. Yeah, we use Negro women. We use some Negro males to sit there and fight that battle and stuff like that. Utilize the generic terminology saying Asian hatred when there are numbers of other Asians that hate other Asians. But we're going to pretend, not to know that and stuff like there are millions of American blacks that don't know it, with very few exceptions, right? But the point is that it's an insult in this, right? Because it's like stop Asian hate and stuff like that. But American blacks are the number one most hated group, right? And you got to be a fool to sit there and fight other people's battles who other people don't give a damn about American blacks in a collective way, with very small percentage of exceptions, right? And this is what they keep getting numbers of American blacks on. They think because they have some good agents, whatever that's supposed to mean, because again, which agents, they think that is a group dynamics of togetherness, and it's not, right? But again, end violence against Asians, end violence against Asians, end violence against Asians. All right. Playing this last video. Last video.
You know what? Y'all getting I'm a female, so I'm only female. Are you serious?
You're a Negro female.
No,
That's they looked at.
You hit me?
Ooh.
Oh, you getting a whole lot? Get the fuck off me! Get the fuck off me! Get off me!
The address is Misha. It's down at Wilkinson Boulevard.
I cannot believe. You asked me. I was not stealing. No, I was not. You checked my purse. Get off. You hit me. No. Get off me. Cause you're tripping.
But the same time, right? In violence against Asians, in violence against Asians. And this is what certain types of Asians, the one this applies to, the one that have a super hatred toward American blacks and do not want them even in their stores, right? Don't even want to be around American blacks, right? Unless they can use American blacks. This is what they are doing when they know American blacks don't even see the hatred that certain numbers of Asians have for American blacks. Yes, and in that last clip, about those anti-American black hatred Asians in there. You saw that was an Asian woman that was holding that black woman's hand as well. She was trying to keep her from getting up with that hateful Asian guy, the one this applies to in that video, that was trying to choke her neck off, trying to pop her neck off, right? Right. But at the same time, and violence against Asians, right? That old silly mantra, right? Stop Asian hate. Stop Asian hate. Stop Asian hate. But things like this, waiting room for color only, Boulder Police Department, get over the past. All right. Ladies, men, and colored. You think they're talking about Asians, right? Or caste system Asians? You think that's who they were talking about? Colored? Of course not. But you got millions of American blacks, with very few exceptions, allowing people to put them in a people of color banner. You see how silly that sounds? Watch this.
I don't believe in segregation. I believe in slavery.
What was that again?
I don't believe in segregation. I believe in slavery.
But where are these people of color and minority people at again? That's right there with American blacks demanding political personnel get a anti-American black hatred law for American blacks. Where are those certain numbers of caste system Asians, the one that supplies to? Where are they at again on that? And unfortunately, numbers of American blacks, by the millions, with very few exceptions, don't understand the type of hatred. Not only do certain numbers of ones within the predominant culture have, but also numbers of ones from numbers of Asian groups, certain numbers of Hispanic groups, certain numbers of Native American groups, etc. One applies to. And unfortunately, in this situation, more numbers of Asians are going to sit there and show American blacks even more hatred, right? Because there's a plan to sit there and just like border breakout legal immigrant personnel, there's a plan to buffer out numbers of American blacks out of politicalness, out of more resources, and etc. Right? See, American blacks are the only culture in America that's got to sit there and prove themselves after proving themselves for centuries already. While numbers of American blacks over centuries have sit there and be the most openest people to other different cultures, right? Only to be continuously over and over again to be messed over. Yes, 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 yes. It's on purpose, right? It's on purpose.
This year we sent in. What did we get? We crawled in. What did we get? We even marched in. And what did we get? So 1964 threatens to be a very explosive year.
A firebomb was tossed into the home of Malcolm X here in New York City early this morning.
I wanted you to know that my house was bombed. Are you inferring then that because of this conspiracy, the attempt was made upon your life? The attempt was made upon my life because I speak my mind and I know too much, and they know that I will speak it whether they like it or not.
But at the same time, right? End violence against Asians. End violence against Asians. And again, this is what certain numbers of caste system Asianists are doing to one it applies to when they know numbers of American blacks by the millions, with very few exceptions, that don't even know the games that's happening right now. I thank you for tuning in to the Real CP Show.